of rain in the afternoon. For KTUI, I'm Mark Perry.
KTUI time is 10:05 and the current temperature is 72 degrees. I'm Sam Scott for KTUI.
Hey, good morning and welcome back. Here we are live at the White Mule Winery on the high plains of Gasconade County. 77 degrees here at air time and kind of a little hazy blue out there this morning, but the dew is heavy and what a blessed rain we had since we left you last week. Over 2 inches of rain and 2 different showers. First one we had about 9/10, and then we had another inch and 2 3/10 this week. So, wow, it woke things up and cooled things off to a degree. And Grace is going to have to get the blade sharpened on the mower because the grass is
keeps growing,
back growing, and it is all good. And you know, it's good to have this kind of rain right now for the farmers because a lot of the early corn isn't going to do anything around here. But August, the last couple weeks of August is when the beans are made, no matter how tall they are. This is when the pods are set on, and this is going to be great for them. So, hey, good to have you along here this morning on KTUI 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, or possibly watching on Facebook Live. If so, it's good to be back here with you this morning. And a note about today's show. I lost a neighbor this week, and their funeral is right here close. We need to go to that, so we're gonna exit here about 10:40 today, and Sam's gonna fill in. I think if you missed part of the show of last week, we had Three Rivers and a very informative session we had with Three Rivers Electric. So he's going to dispatch that out to you when we're done with the show today. So good for you to be along, and we've got Will here with us today from the Gasconade County Republican. Will, how long have you been with the Republican now?
16 years.
Golly, Will, I know you. I know you covered all of my kids. You know, Will takes care of all the sports writing for the Gasconade County Republican, and does a great job. In all honesty, if you get to read the Owensville paper, and he's on a first name basis with all the kids, and all the kids appreciate him, and he puts out a big effort to make that a great product, and keep the kids and their parents and the community involved in what's going on, Will. And it's a big effort because I know most of your work is done after hours.
Very much so.
And that means sacrifice your kids, you know what I'm saying, your wife, and of course they're probably the point where they travel with you some, but out and covering the kids, and it's good to have you on, and we're going to talk about high school sports, but we would be remiss, because I know that you're a lot bigger fan than I am, but I am working at it diligently to become a Cardinal fan the last couple of years, and what a show that they've been putting on this year in the last month. Absolutely amazing with what is going on, and the personalities we're getting to know even deeper, or I am anyway. The Pujols, and the Yachties and the Goldsmiths, and Wainwright. I mean, these are premier star players, that are mentoring and bringing up just about everybody and anybody that walks onto the Cardinal field is a hero anymore. Yeah. And, I'll have to say that, the first time when Pujols was here, we all loved him, but I didn't realize he was a much humanitarian, you know what I'm saying? And, and put the effort in, of mentoring and teaching. I've never seen him work harder. In regard to doing his homework and his study, and how he reacts in the clubhouse, and how he reacts on the field. What a great guy.
Oh, no kid.
And what a storybook of information he's got, because you see him now going to his iPad before every bat and studying all of the pictures and, seeing what's going on here. Very rare, Will. Very rare that you see someone at the end of his career working harder than they did at the beginning.
And he's hit off of 450 different pitchers now.
It's amazing, Yeah, absolutely amazing, and tying all kind of records, home run, and his August, accomplishments are through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, knocking on the door to set the 700 club.
I know, and it's really exciting. And last night was actually the first time I really end up watching a whole game since the new rule in regard to extra innings was put in. Because most of the time I'm sleeping by then, or But very interesting, and it didn't shorten that game a whole lot. I mean, it probably helped without a doubt, but interesting if you don't know and watch it, that now when they go into extra innings and they're tied, they put a base runner on second.
The guy that made the last out, they put on second.
Oh, is that how it is? I
Yeah.
didn't catch that either.
Yeah, the guy that made the last out, previous inning, they put him on second and go from there.
Interesting, and that's supposed to shorten the game up, and I understand that, because baseball's pretty long anyway, especially some of these pitchers. Now Wainwright goes right to the game, and he focuses on it like Gibson used to, kind of.
Yeah.
And but he gets through it, but a lot of pitchers take a lot of time to pitch the game. But anyway, I know that this station, from past history, the amount of people that watch the Cardinals around, the Sullivan geographic area is huge.
Yeah.
They are absolutely huge, and I know there's a lot of fans out there. But let's focus back in on high school sports, and high school football is at hand, correct?
Sure is. Football, yeah.
And thus far, Owensville's had a couple preseason games or scrimmages.
They had a jamboree up at South Callaway. And they defeated Fulton in South Callaway. Then last Friday they opened with Cuba, defeated them 50-0.
And that's an extremely good start, for our team. How much experience do they have coming back on their skilled players or the line? Do we have a lot of seniors, and a lot of, I don't necessarily say seniors, because the way the game is anymore, there's a lot of very talented players at sophomores that play an awful lot, and a lot of talent at that juncture.
Yeah, a lot of linemen returning. I mean, Chance Clevenger, Hunter Boyer, and Trey Johnson are three of the big ones that teamed up for 9 sacks last Friday against Cuba.
Wow, and that is huge. I mean, these, especially on the defense, the offense. But if they like to hit, you know what I'm saying, and they're big enough to, there's 3 of them and they can cover their territories, that means an awful lot.
And in high school, it's a blessing to have a kicker, and Charlie Whalen's a pretty good one. He's a returning third-team All-Stater at kicker.
That is pretty good. There's no question about it at all. So the skill players, the quarterback, I was told,
Blake,
wasn't it Kyle last year was Brandt, right? Oh, that's been way back.
Brendan Decker was the quarterback.
Oh, that's right.
Derek
Okay.
Brandt was a wide receiver last year.
Okay.
They've both graduated. Blake Elliott's the quarterback this year starting.
And how is he a senior then?
No, he's a junior.
He's a junior.
And one of his favorite targets will be Bryce Payne, fresh off a state championship in the 110 hurdles last spring.
Wow, that's Taylor's brother, right? I mean, we know that's Gracie's friend. They live right down the road here, and they're all good athletes.
And Jared's actually assistant coach.
Really?
Yeah.
That's well, it's all in the family, right? There's no doubt. Well, it's exciting to have a noteworthy team for our community and for the school. And you know, when you start back into school, especially after the last couple of years that everybody had to go through with the pandemic, the teachers, the kids, it's and every Friday and Saturday night when we got kids in here, I asked them how school is going and if they like it or whatever, just for conversation. And you know, I swear, Will, that the amount of kids that like school is a lot more than used to.
Sure.
You know, because I think it, you know, I think they stay in touch, you know, to some degree, and you know, with social media, you know, and they can, you know, they can continue to communicate, you know, in a way that used to they didn't. And most of them are ready to get back to school and start learning and playing sports or doing their thing, right?
Yeah.
And so we got a good line, or a good defensive D line. Do they go both ways on it?
Yeah, they go both ways.
Okay, so what kind of defense is Owensville playing? Is it a 5-3 or something?
Yeah. They like to mix it up.
They mixed it up so that, I mean, there's kids are smart enough to mix it up now. I'm not sure we were,
Yeah.
you know, back when, because we didn't study the books as much as they did in regard to plays, and it wasn't very sophisticated, you know. But maybe it was. Maybe Charlie just didn't get it, you know. So you know, we've got and the offense. Do you think we're gonna what offensive set? Do they use several different offensive sets? I'm sure.
Several, yeah. We ran it a lot last week, but I think they'll look to take what the defense gives them.
And so they make them read they go to, which wasn't used to normal. We used to run the wishbone offense no matter who we were playing and what it was. I mean, of course, off of that, there's an awful lot you can do. There's no question, but you know. So the favorite passing game will be between Payne, you say?
Yeah.
And Ellis, the quarterback?
Elliott.
Okay. So, and he's only a junior, so we can look for that. Did he have experience then on JV much?
Last year.
He did?
Yeah.
He did. Okay. Did they have a respectable season last year at JV?
I think that, yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. So we're in with it. Who are they playing this weekend or?
Yes, they host Eldon tomorrow night.
Okay. So
then next Friday they get to play someone they haven't played in a couple decades, Warrenton.
really?
Yeah.
Well, don't say a couple decades because I played.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 5 decades for me, or almost, you know, but...
You'd have to go back to the Kevin Baldwin era of Dutchman football. 2001 was the last time they played Warrenton.
So, you know, all of that in regard to districts, you know, the conference is still basically as it is, but
Yeah.
the discretion on who we play is basically up to the coaches.
The first 3 weeks.
The first 3 weeks is always up to the coaches, or does...
For the most part.
Okay, Misha, did they have anything to do with it, or...
Not necessarily. You play your 6 conference 6 or how many ever conference games, and then you get your 3 non-conference games.
Yeah.
Warrenton's a class bigger than us, so they wanted to pick up some bonus points.
And, you know, there's, what a growing area, you know. I kind of keep up with what's going on in Warren County because there's a big meat plant coming in there. We're going to be a cow killer, and I just kind of read every week where how many new apartments, you know, they're building and how many they're going to create 1,200 new jobs there in the short term. And it's going to be great for the cattle business, you know, but it's also going to add another, you know, another decimal to the school district. There's no question to get when they're done with that. So.
And then just west of us, Lynn restarted their football program.
And there's another success, you know, that Lynn has a lot of enthusiasm in the community because of Lynn State, and they've just restarted their program because people are hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
To get back into those sports, and they too have had a lot of inflow. Not only kids, but the amount of educators. You know what I'm saying, and administration.
Yeah.
That they got 2,000 kids at this juncture. And I talked with Dr. Strong last week, and they're headed to 3,000.
Wow.
So yeah, they just continue to grow and hire new people and be an important part of our extended community. Of course, your paper covers all of that now, too.
Yeah, we own the Unterrified Democrat, so there's some days and evenings that I'm a advocate, a Democrat, and a Republican at the same time.
It's all in the paperhood.
Yes.
Yes. Well, in name only, because I've known, the Unterrified Democrat. I've got it, and some of the writers, but the owners have been conservative for a long time too. But they tell the stories well. There's no question about it at all that the bosses were good people, and they're still around. And but you guys have been accepted well in that whole region, in regard to, I don't know exactly what your readership numbers are, but I know enough people in Lynn and the Marys County, extension there, that people enjoy the work that you do. There's no question. And such an important part of rural life is accentuated by local press.
Yeah.
And I worry, Will, in all honesty, that that we lose that perspective, and you got to go directly to the state or regional, and then you lose your identity.
Sure.
And that's one thing about why your job is so important, to keep these kids' identity, going here.
Mm-hmm.
So football isn't all. You've also got other sports coming up.
We had softball about 4 or 5 games into their season, and a familiar face back in the first base coach's box, Rhiannon Schaefer Cutter.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many games have they had, you say?
They've had 5.
They've had 5. How are they looking?
They're
Coming along?
They're coming along. Young in the pitching department, but they're getting there.
Good. So
April Jansen's the lone senior from the Dutch girls softball team this year.
we got the Jansons are a big family. They're a big family, and we're blessed to have several of them working here too. And they're all good. They're all good kids. They're all great family, and that's what makes it interesting. Brings a lot of people to the games too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
No doubt. How is our participation? After COVID, do you think we're going to have good turnouts at the football and softball and volleyball?
Volleyball too, yeah. I mean, Jamie Ridenauer led him to a district title 2 years ago, and she's hoping to get a conference title up there on the wall.
That's so. How many softball games? About how many softball games, and how long does that season go? I don't.
Softball's about 30 games,
About
give or
30
take.
Then
They go into late October.
Okay. And volleyball. Have we started volleyball yet?
Yeah, they have had a couple matches this week. They swept Lynn Monday night, and last night lost a tough one to Washington in 4 sets. And they've got a handful of seniors. Got Josie Gerleman, Molly Nook, Mallory Eberlin, Kylie Kitchen, and Peyton Boyd, and Drew Copeland also.
So they're full of experience there, and that that'll go a long way in that game too, in that sport, no doubt about it.
Then cross country, I mean, Matt has done wonders with that program the last several years.
He's an institution in himself, you know, and just such an accommodating person, such a committed person, you know, and kids absolutely love him. Well, I don't know anybody that's ever been around him that don't appreciate him 110% for what he's worth, you know.
Yeah, on the girls' side, he's actually led by a sophomore, Eileen Lindbergh. She's won 3 conference titles dating back to middle school, and she was all-state in cross country last year as a freshman.
Tell me a little bit more about cross country. I mean, I kind of know what it is. How far do they go?
About 5,000 kilometers, 3.1 miles.
3.1 miles.
Some courses are flat, some are hilly, or a mixture of both.
So, and the timing, of course, is going to be, you know, different on each of those particular courses.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Owensville, when they have cross country, where is that course?
For a long time, it was at the golf course, but then the last couple of years, they moved it on campus.
So just out around in the fields there, or
They have a nature
football, or
they have a nature trail.
Okay.
In the woods between the elementary and middle schools.
Okay.
That's part of it. Then they have fields behind the middle school, which is part of the course also.
So maybe, just maybe, when Owensville School District was awarded a $500,000 grant on the rail to trail, you know, on the Rock Island, maybe that might be part of the new, you know, down the road when they get that finished, the new cross country. It'll be a great addition anyway for all the sports.
Yeah.
At Owensville, and all the kids. I can see that being used quite readily.
Yeah, and with them building the new softball baseball field a couple of years ago, that's made my job a lot easier because everything is like a triangle now.
Right, right. And what a beautiful campus, and this will add even more to that to give kids the flexibility and to stay in shape. You know, walking or running into school, and you know, being able to you know, get there and get back, you know, without parental help sometimes. I think it'll be a good addition.
And Matt's been churning out runners that have gone on to college. I mean, we have 3 at William Woods right now.
Really?
Michaela Gibson, Kyle Wyrick, and Freddie Zhang.
Well, you know, that's an extension of higher education, and I know Woody, you know, played at Lindenwood for a period of time there, and it's a whole nother level of sports. There's no doubt, but what a great collaboration, and what a great culture, you know, that they have when they can play at that level and earn new friends and make new acquaintances doing that. Those are lifelong things that they get to experience.
And speaking of Lindenwood, there's a offensive lineman with Owensville ties, Asa Baker.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He
plays. He's a starting lineman at Lindenwood as a junior.
I seen or something somewhere where how many different athletes that Lindenwood has, because they play every sport, you know.
Our division, because they just moved up to Division 1.
Yeah, but it's phenomenal how many athletes that they have there that play, you know, college sports. I mean, they kind of focus in on that, I think, and they get a lot of them there.
I mean, Lindenwood's grown big time. I mean, they were NAIA back when they were NAIA. Matt Angel was playing for them.
Yeah. That's right. He went there, and you know, a great school. There's no doubt about it that they are, you know, and I just know from Woody's experience that they continue to mentor and reach out, and communicate, and put people that go there within his circle, you know what I'm saying, of influence also. So it's it's a great experience. Well, what are the Tigers going to be like this year? Have you
I haven't got to really see
opened
much.
the coverage yet and seen what expectations we have with them?
I haven't seen too much yet, but I know they open tonight, I believe.
I think that is right. I don't even know who they're playing, but I remember
It's like Arkansas Tech or Louisiana Tech or a Tech school. I can't think of it offhand.
Okay. Well, I never know where to get them because we don't have, a good, I don't know, channel, you know what I'm saying, to grab them unless they're, on, one of the major networks, which they don't get a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I think they might have had more visual time, when they was in the Big Eight, conference than they do. SEC's got an awful lot of big money and big schools, competition for that airtime.
They have their own network, I think.
Yeah, I think they do. That's true. So, what can tell me a little bit about if they used to have season passes and these things for family at school. Do they still have family passes where you can buy? When the kids were in there, we bought passes at the beginning of the year and didn't have to worry about it on all the home games.
Yeah, I think it's 75 for family, 40 for an adult, and 20 for a student.
So that's
here in Owensville.
A good value. So that would include every high school sports that there is. If you bought the family pass of $75, you could go to every football, volleyball,
Basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, track.
Spend a lot of time in a seat if you wanted to. No doubt. What of all the sports what in Owensville? What do you see the future in regard to any outstanding sports that we got so much talent that you think we're going to win it all, or I mean in regard to the district or conference?
I think wrestling is really taking off.
Really?
Girls especially.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's taken off enough. They've gone to 2 classes this year.
And what do you think? Is it just the I mean, there's a lot of WW whatever on TV anymore, and a lot of the cage stuff or whatever, which, might have the roots in that, but, but is it just that time?
I think, girls wrestling is just, it's growing and growing and growing, and now it's just taking off.
Okay, we're going to take a little break here because we're going to be leaving in about 5 or 6 minutes, Will. So we're going to take a little break on KTUI, 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, and Facebook. And maybe Gracie's going to get us up and going on what else is happening in our neck of the woods this weekend. September, October are big times in the community. There's an awful lot of not only sports going on, but there's a lot of got to get it done before winter comes in regard to other social activities. So what's happening?
There is a quilt show Friday and Saturday, September 9th and 10th from 9 a.m. to 5. It's a free will donation. It's located at the City Park in Herman. They will have vendors, local quilts, free patterns to complete, and a fall row quilt.
There is some incredible craft ladies. There might be some men too, I don't know.
I'm sure there is.
Those old, I don't say old, those German ladies, they do an incredible job, and they count their stitches, and If you ever look at them, there's perfection there. There's no question about it.
That's right.
Are you that way?
No. I wish I was a
Have you
little
ever,
more, but
have you ever stitched anything?
I've sewed a little
Well,
bit.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Not much, but I have. The Republican is having an annual barbecue Friday, September 9th, serving pork steak dinner from 6:30 until 7. That's at Charlotte Church Road at the St. James UCC Fellowship Hall. Program will begin at 7 o'clock. Guest speaker is Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer and Ben Brown. Reservations by mail only. Checks made to Gaston County Republican Central Committee. Reservation advance are $20 and tickets the day of the barbecue are $25. 6 and under are free.
So, a big Republican run, here, at an election, and they'll all be gathering right down the road here and celebrating their wins and talking about the future.
Yes, they will. It's usually a good turnout there.
There will be.
This Friday night at the White Mule, we will be serving steak, pork chops, shrimp, beef kebabs, and country fried steak from 5 until 8:30. Saturday, we will serve pizza, wings, and hamburgers from noon until 5, and then our steaks after that. Sunday is all-you-can-eat pan-fried chicken and roast beef from 11 until 3:30. And Mike Blemke will be here this Sunday playing music starting at 1.
Brother-in-law Mike will be here, and he has his own road show. There's no doubt, so that'll bring in a lot of Geraldonians,
Wow.
back, and Jeff Cityans, will come and watch him. And he, if you just like sitting around and listening to music, he's a talent,
He's a good
and he a lot of off the wall stuff that he comes up with, and I'm not even smart enough to know what games. I mean, where he gets all of these names and who he follows, but it's, what would you call ballads?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good time. So make plans now for the weekend. Will, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, likewise.
Can continue to do what you're doing, and we'll be seeing you down the road. One of the things that I miss having the business here is that Friday night football. We get to ever occasionally, sneak out for a little bit and do one, but it's we thought I'd never say that, but we sat a lot of bleacher seats, for all the kids of sports, but kind of miss it and kind of enjoy every time I go back to any of the games. There's no doubt about it. Hey, good to have you with us here today, and I think Sam's going to pick you back up with Three Rivers Electric, which we had last week, and we had a good show, and he did a great job. First time he'd been on the radio, but we're going to have him back because a lot going on right now in regard to electricity and getting it out to the consumer. So a lot going on in that area too. So next week we've got guest next week, Grace, which is.
Oh, don't do this to me. We got somebody.
That somebody won't be impressed.
It's a surprise.
Oh, well.
I'll come back and fix it.
Okay, we will have a guest next week, and we'll figure out. But I do know there's this somebody is very good.
They are.
Great.
And it is Labor Day weekend.
Oh, that's
So,
right. It is
Monday's
Labor Day
Labor Day,
weekend.
so happy Labor
That don't
Day.
mean any difference to you because you're not getting any time off. So.
We'll see about that.
Be safe this weekend. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. And God bless you. Have a great holiday. And we'll see you next Thursday.